Let's take a look at some legacy charts this Thursday, December 3rd. So in my mind, legacy refers to anything that's not crypto, including Forex, foreign exchange, even though crypto's technically kind of both a commodity, a foreign exchange vehicle, that sort of thing. Normally I look at a few things. Volatility index, VIX here in the middle pane. Historically, if VIX is up, crypto is down, and if VIX declines, crypto is up. DXY, the US dollar correlation, which has been raging negative over the past few months, and XAU USD correlation, or with the gold correlation, which was fairly positive, but that has declined significantly in the past few days. So sort of as was foretold, based on previous correlations, fall in the VIX should be bullish for crypto, and thus far it has been. But even more so, the DXY, which I'll show in a second, doom foretold, and has fallen substantially to multi-year lows, and looks like it's going to keep falling further to more lows, which is incredibly bullish for crypto. People with a lot of money, a lot of USD, are going to be looking to dump that into something else that has a better store of value. That's just my basic understanding and analysis of it. And gold had its run up earlier in the year, hit an all-time high, and then sort of retraced a little bit. We'll look at that as well. So that correlation has come off. But over time, the correlations with gold and with Dixie are both negative and positive, but tend to just trend fairly significantly. They don't typically flip fairly quickly here on this is the 30-week correlation rolling. If we look at the SPX and NASDAQ rolling 30-day correlations, you can see these are kind of all over the place recently. They just go super highly correlated than not. So it's worth paying attention to SPX and NASDAQ, especially since the beginning of the year, especially with the NASDAQ. Massive correlations there. NASDAQ has been up again. If dollars being devalued, stocks should go up. That's just kind of how it works around these parts. And you can see the VIX with a little more clarity here. Back at around 21, it was at 20 earlier in the week. Anything below 20 should be just incredibly bullish for BTC and ETH for that matter. Looking at Dixie, this is the weekly chart zoomed way out to 1997. And we are quickly approaching a level not seen since 2015, 2014. If we break 88, we'll probably bounce or relax the trend at around 89, where this previous bottom was. But if that breaks, we're easily seeing mega all-time high moon for BTC. You know, if Dixie re-enters this period of 08, 07, basically 06 to 2015, if we dip down sub 88, BTC should easily break 25, 30K. I'd imagine. One would imagine that would be the story. If we zoom in on the daily cloud Dixie, as is expected from cloud signals, you get a bear trend, reconsolidation, several attempts at bullish reversal, all denied, and you get this TK recross below the cloud, which at this point says expect heavy bearish continuation, and that's what we got. So no surprises here, and it's easier to be bullish crypto if Dixie is bearish. Here's the SPX on the weekly, all-time highs, kind of crazy, kind of nuts. It is looking fairly overbought on the weekly, no surprise there, just based on these TK separation. A healthy trend would be something like 2016, 2017, 2018. You can just see the visual difference here based on the TK lines, which act as moving averages. So there will be another reckoning similar to March eventually. This can't last forever, but you can see just how crazy that V bottom was. Here's the daily. Again, you got this W sort of cup and handle situation that should lead to even further higher highs, even though it's overbought on the weekly. But it all looks incredibly bullish. If you look at the NASDAQ, same thing. Not a healthy bullish trend in that it's very overbought. It's nothing like 2016 to 2019. It's overbought on a bear trend, just parabolic insanity. So it's clearly a very different market conditions than previously. But obviously bullish but overbought, and the daily same story. The cloud, everything trend-wise is bullish here. and sort of just starting as it reconsolidated, but it's gonna have to reckon with this weekly overbought stuff. So if legacy dumps in the near term, VIX will go way up again, and then crypto's going to suffer. So that's something to consider in the back burner. We've got dollar weakness, but we've also got historic overbought stuff going on with price divergence wise on SPX and NASDAQ. Here's gold on the weekly. Nice Kijun bounce here, just like earlier in the year. So these TK lines act as support when price is above it and resistance when price is below. And the ultimate bid zone is always at the Kijun because it represents a 50% retrace. So this looks pretty good for up on the weekly. I don't know how much higher we'll see because ultimately this could just drift back down to 16. But it bounced on the support it needed to bounce on, very similar to March, which eventually led to bullish continuation. So the first thought here is always we expect bullish continuation. If bullish continuation fails down the decision tree path, then we expect this edge-to-edge trade from 18 to 16. But until then, this should be bullish. And looking at the daily, if you want to actually trade this, I'd wait for cloud signals to all flip bullish again. This may take a couple weeks, may take us into 2021, but that would be the best long setup trade in my opinion. And lastly, looking at silver, just to show you what I mean by that 50%. So if we take the high and the low here for silver, and here's the 50% zone, and what do you know, that's the Kijun. That's the red line here. So the red line is always going to be a 50% of something. Unlike gold, silver didn't actually retrace, didn't actually mean revert back to the 50% level. So gold's kind of, or silver is kind of outperforming gold here as far as the mean reversion stuff's concerned. And on the daily, it never got below the cloud. But you don't want to see this concavity, convexity, whatever it is. You don't want to see this curvature if you're bullish. So similar to gold, you want to wait till everything's back above the cloud if you're actually trading silver here, which is what I would be looking for. So overall, Dixie looks weak, VIX looks weak, SPX and NASDAQ look extremely overbought divergence-wise, but that could just continue. All the stuff I've listed is bullish for crypto unless legacy has another March-style dump, then crypto is going to suffer dramatically. But the big thing I'm continuing to watch for is Dixie. If Dixie goes to 88, 89 again, it is just going to be, I mean, we may see 50K BTC prices on USD. I think it's going to get nuts if we break 88. It's going to get absolutely nuts for crypto. We already saw a headline this week correlating Dixie strength or Dixie weakness and BTC strength from a mainstream media news outlet. So that's something that's never happened before. So it's definitely being talked about and looked at by a lot of people right now. Lots of eyeballs on this specific macro situation.